This episode is brought to you by Sword Tiling, lead tiling specialists in the Northeast. Covering all aspects, including commercial and domestic, they've got you covered. So head to sword_tiling on Instagram and tell them St. James's Pod sent you. Welcome to the episode, guys. I'm Sam. I'm joined by Pete and Dorse for this one. Tom isn't here, unfortunately. He's at pickleball. Which, have you guys ever heard of this before? Tom mentioned it.
I think it's for pedophiles.
All right. Well, that's going to help the... That's going to help not swearing before
we get on YouTube.
It's all right. I'll do the intro for 30 seconds. It'll be fine.
No, I've never heard of it until Tommy Picklefingers told me about it.
Is he actually playing against 80-year-olds and stuff?
Aye. Well, he did mention he played against one 80-year-old, so I'm guessing that's a part of it.
Can't believe he got beat by him as well.
And then he lost a pickleball to him.
Oh dear.
Oh.
All right. So obviously we didn't do an episode last week. I mean, I for one just couldn't face it, especially with it being City away as the preview. So I think before we dive into this week, just want to kind of hear from you guys what it was actually like down in London, going down to Wembley, and the atmosphere for the final. Because obviously, all three of you guys went, but there'll be a lot of people who didn't manage to get down there.
Yeah, I mean, the whole day was outrageous. To be fair, the whole weekend, we were absolutely buzzing on the Saturday morning. I think I was sat waiting for Dawson to pick us up with my shoes on, me coat, my little backpack and everything, an hour before he was coming, because I was just buzzing. Met the lads in...
Sitting with the TV off, just waiting.
I didn't have a telly on, I was just sat in silence waiting. Went to town, met all the lads in town, everywhere in town was rammed. It's mad the amount of people that were going down. Obviously, the amount of people in Centurion, obviously it was in the stations, was obviously going to be rammed, but even at the bars in town was just heaving with people heading down. It was brilliant, But yeah, we got down there, the train was packed. Trafalgar Square on the Saturday night was just unreal, one of those.
Carnage,
was carnage.
Whenever when we stopped off the train in King's Cross, it was just Geordie takeover. You didn't see a red shirt in sight. It was Geordies everywhere. Every tube you went on, full of Geordies. Everywhere you went, we were staying in Paddington High Street. We walked along to go get to our digs. Just Geordies everywhere. It was it was class. So we literally went, dropped our bags, went back to Trafalgar Square and stayed there until late. To be fair, and
we were one of the last ones to leave Trafalgar.
You were helping picking up rubbish until you got told to stop.
I know, yeah. I got told to stop.
Why did you get told to stop?
Well, see, this is the thing. I feel bad saying this, right? But
don't be dogging the fans in it, mind.
I'm not. All right, let's move on, lads.
No, but basically, they had the street sweepers waiting to clear up the square as soon as the Geordies left. So Pete was standing in the way with his rubbish bag trying to help fucking Blotto, by the way. We were Pete, man, we're fucking want to get a taxi.
No, I mean there was. Don't get us wrong. There was bags of rubbish that had been filled up by people, stacked nicely. But as well as that, there was a shitload of road sweepers and lads who had obviously been roped in for this occasion, who were just waiting for it to clear, and they just came in with the trucks and swept everything up. So, not to burst the bubble of the Toon fans, but might be slightly exaggerated that we tidied up after ourselves.
I did think that when I seen it, I was I can imagine there was a few people doing it, but it seems
there was.
Yeah,
I think it was more certain people clearing up their own mess.
Yeah.
In the area where they were picking up their shit and putting it in bags and all that. They weren't going around clearing every fucking bit of broken glass up and stuff like that. But it was organised because they obviously expected it, so it was organised.
And what about Wembley itself on the day?
We got there bright and early, like.
Aye. As soon as I woke up,
again, Wembley way. Aye. That's the thing, like, woke up, like, after, like, getting 4 or 5 hours kicked, maybe, after getting lost on the way at the hotel, even though we were in the right street. We were just on the wrong side of the road.
Really? We're walking up and down the odd numbers on one side of the road and couldn't find the hotel. Turns out it was on the other side of the road. Classic.
So we're up bright and early and we're down Wembley Way for like 11 o'clock. And same again, black and white everywhere you looked. Like, it was ridiculous. Everyone's in such good spirits, like, class. So,
it was
the whole day.
Getting into the ground, wasn't it? Getting into the turnstiles.
Piss take. It took like an hour.
Really bad. Yeah,
like an hour to get in the ground.
Really?
It was almost like there was too many people trying to get into one turnstile for a stadium that should accommodate, what is it, 80, 90,000 capacity? It's like it didn't have enough turnstiles to accommodate for all the supporters. It was mad. Like says, we were queuing for about an hour.
But like, we were in K and yellow, so we were quite near the front of the stadium. And you had like I next to it or whatever, like Jay, and it was empty. There's no one going through, not one person. So I don't know what the fuck was going on there. Like, we got in. I'm sure it was like 3:30 when like our tickets were meant for, and there must have been like 500 people stand outside our turnstiles going in one at a time. That's probably it, though, wasn't it? Because everyone on the tickets that had specific time slots to go into the ground, people obviously didn't pay attention to that, and everyone piled in like you would at St James's. You got in half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour beforehand. So I think that's probably. How does it fine at St James's? How does it work fine at St James's? You queue maybe 5 minutes to get in. How is it an hour? When I know you're getting going through the metal detectors.
I know
it doesn't slow you down that much.
No, you're right.
And also, I went through the metal detectors, had 2 cans in my pockets, didn't even go off.
He walked over with 2 tinnies in his pocket. Whatever happened to them?
No, I literally like pulled it out as I went through, thinking like, oh, I'm gonna buzz, like I'm just gonna like let him know. And the guy goes, oh yeah, you go through. Then he went, oh fuck.
Did he?
Literally like out loud, aye. And I was like, well, I've shown you it now. Like I need to give you it, but
that's so bad. That like so bad.
So I'm just like, what the fuck?
But I think the atmosphere itself during the match, the atmosphere was shit. Like
I think it started off alright.
Yeah,
it went flat very quickly.
Yeah, like, that's just like home games, don't it? It's just like home games. I think it's because you've got. It's pretty similar to St James's. You've got your certain fans that stand up and sing. People have obviously seen a load of carry on about it. People are complaining. I'm bored. I was so bored of it, reading about fans moaning about fans. It's just draining. Like, because there's people complaining that other people are standing up. I mean, to be fair, it is a final. Like. Stand up and sing for your team. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking logical. But I think there was a lot of. I don't know how you overcome that. But there's a lot of people just wanting to sit down and sitting quiet, and that's part of the reason. Because there was just groups dotted all over who wanted to sing, and there was groups that wasn't. So it was like, what can you do?
Well, that's the thing. When you've got like, actually explain this after like. 90% of people, season ticket holders, at home games, sit down all game and don't sing. Like, you've only got, like the Gallagher mainly, like, who gets up and, like, sings, like, all the time, like, us at the back of the Gallagher stand all game. When they're all dotted about over the whole of, like, our section of Wembley, of course you're not going to have a concentrated atmosphere where, like, songs get started and stuff like that. So you're all going to still have those 90% of people who sit down at the game at Wembley who... You'd think they might get up for the final, but let's be honest, they didn't, and it was like I feel like it was fairly flat.
It was definitely.
As Pete said, I don't know how you remedy that. I don't know how you go about getting the atmosphere better. Like War Flags tried to get involved, but after the first,
they were the only times.
Minutes,
they were the only times it was good. Really, the start when obviously the flags came out, and it did look brilliant what they did, and then obviously I think it was 90 minutes, wasn't it? The odd person started waving their flag, then the whole our side did, and it was great. But I don't know. I think, to be honest, the whole Newcastle United atmosphere has gone a bit shit, to be honest. I'm sick of the same songs being sung. There's no like, I think our atmosphere I think it's starting to become, dare I say it, it's starting to become a bit of a myth. Our atmosphere. It's the same shit songs getting sung. I mean, I don't go to all the away games. I know the away support's got a great atmosphere, but it's the same songs getting sung. It's just repeat. I mean, the home. I don't know how we've got onto this level. The home atmosphere is fucking terrible. Like, unless we score.
Well,
it is true. Unless we score, it's shit. And we don't score.
We're not scoring, so that's why it's so flat.
Yeah. I think that might be part of it. Is obviously it's gone on a while now. Even when we've won, it's only scoring one goal. But yeah, before we dive into the games too much, we just need to acknowledge Bruno's award that he picked up this week. Congratulations to him.
Football Writers Association Player of the Year from the North East. So I'm guessing that's a collective of like North East journals like Craig Hope and all that. George Culkin. I'm guessing it's those kind of people who write for us in national papers, and obviously ball like Lee Ryder and the Chronicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair play. Like and baller. Like we haven't won a game without him yet. Still, like this season.
Yeah.
So it just shows how much he means to this team, and even like. I noticed even in the last like 5 minutes when like the rest of the team had given up a little bit, he's fucking screaming to get on the ball. Like he's like trying to get something going, trying to get the ball all the time. When Mickey does
his heart on his sleeve, like
turn on the ball and pass it back to Trippier, he was like fucking come on, like keep going forward. But fair play, like well deserved. Like there's no one else who you could think would be winning that.
All right. I think what I want to do in terms of the City game is kind of, instead of picking it apart, which might be quite depressing, is kind of just look forward to the Wolves game. So pick out things where we can take stuff from it, whether it be predicting the lineup or who might be starting, who Eddie Howe might feel was given a chance and should continue on, stuff like that. So I think we should start with the starting lineup because I don't know about you guys, but it was a bit of an eyebrow raiser for me. Some of the selection.
Wait, the big one was Lascelles.
Yeah. So I was going to say it's a big one.
That's because it wasn't made clear at all that Shaw was going to miss the game with concussion. Yeah, so
standard.
Obviously, yeah, he gets it. He goes down with a head injury every game. So
head injury every fucking game.
It was ridiculous. So, yeah.
But fair play to Lascelles, by the way. He had an absolute stormer. Did nothing wrong. Filled the boots, did nothing wrong at all.
He was actually probably best player on the pitch. Well,
yeah, he got stuck in as well. Like, he wasn't afraid to get stuck in. I think he was actually playing for his place. Like,
that's the thing. He was trying to go toe to toe with Haaland, like playing his own game, like trying to like barge him off the ball. Like, there's one way he like shielded it back to Pope, and it's just like he just didn't do anything wrong. So usually when you look at him coming in, you think, fucking a calamity's always coming. Really fucking solid game. Really happy with his performance, but probably one of the only ones, to be fair.
Yeah, so if we've got him, and then obviously I was massively surprised Maxey didn't start, mainly due to the performance he had at home to City. You'd think you'd go straight and do the same again. So,
well, that's what we were saying. He had in the home game, he had Kyle Walker on toast, so we thought it's got to be a banker. This like that Maxey's going to start, but I mean, obviously, Gordon got his start, but he was very quiet. I know it's against City, fucking hell, the champions, but I did think he was very quiet. I mean, Christ, the whole team was quiet, so you can't just plant it on him. We all seen the foot with a little cock up when he kicked it with his wrong foot. It just had to be on his fucking full debut as well. Like it's one of these things. That might have been eating away at him, to be honest. Like that, he's done that on his full debut.
But I do think it is to his detriment with Dan Burn being left back as well. It's like it puts so much pressure on you on that side where you don't have as much support. Whereas Miggy's got Trippier overlapping or underlapping like constantly. He always knows he's got the option. Like Gordon's probably having to try to do a bit too much himself, and against Kyle Walker, like he's not a bad player. Is he?
To be fair, we spoke about that loads with Target and Maxi, the relationship they had, constantly overlapping each other. It was brilliant to watch. I know there was a lot of people calling for Matty Target to start. Might have been a bit quick for him, but it's pointless throwing him in the deep end against City as well. Because he had a fucking nightmare of a game, but I think it's coming like.
Well, he came on, didn't he? Last 10 or something like that.
He came on, didn't know. He's obviously fit and stuff like that. I think another one was Callum Wilson.
Yeah. No, that's surprising.
Where do we start with him? He hasn't been right since the World Cup. We've said this on every pod. He hasn't been right since the World Cup.
There's a lot of people saying
that chance he had.
That's how that chance was
mad.
Loyal.
Yeah, to be honest, I think. Well, to be fair, Eddie Howe actually came out after and said that was the way we wanted to set up, and we wanted to have them three players, Isak, Maxi, Willock, to come on and make an impact. So there was reasoning behind it. He actually came out and said this is how we wanted to play, so we could come on and hit them hard. It was a treble substitution,
and it did.
It was obviously tactical. It did. The game changed. Yeah, the game changed. We should have. Obviously, Wilson should have scored that. The chance that came calling to Joe Linton when it went under his foot. Oh my god! It was just like his chance against Southampton in the semi-final. It was nuts that he missed that, but shit happens. Murphy came on, played well.
Put a couple unbelievable balls across the 6-yard box. No one was there for.
Nobody there. This is such a big thing, man. I beat on about this all the fucking
Wilson
time.
Screaming at him, getting the fucking mix out.
Like, why aren't you there? Why aren't you on the fucking, like, playing off the defenders? Why aren't you there? That's literally your number 9. That is your position.
Where in the past, that's exactly what he would have done. He would have always been there to watch the goal, score from 2 yards.
Something's not right. Obviously, the goal drought's affecting his confidence. Because it's like, he's very flat. I get you the day, that chance I felt to him, okay, it's one of them things. But it at least, fuck me, he just got a shot away on target, or even off target.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking hell. They just connect with it. It was a golden chance, that, like.
To be fair, I think Callum Wilson in form scores that, like, 9 out of 10
Of course he does.
So,
yeah, of course he does, yeah. He's just... It's one of them things, and it's frustrating.
I think the thing with not being in the right place in the box is probably because the way we play is with inverted wingers, and we obviously have a system where they're wanting us to kind of create these really like golden opportunities rather than, we've talked about this before, like rather than just popping one off. So he's always like, in his head, he's thinking it's going back to trips, it's coming like in these triangles. But that needs to really change when someone like Murphy comes on, because obviously he's going to be whipping the ball across.
Yeah.
So, and then also we don't have... I've seen a stat this week that we haven't actually won a game since Chris Wood left.
Don't say that, man. Fuck off.
But we don't actually have like another option. If you want somebody up top as a focal point, it is Callum Wilson. So I kind of get why he kept his place after the cup game, even though he played badly then against City. But I think coming into Wolves, it's got to be Isak on it.
It's got to be Isak. It has to be Isak. Like we just said it there. As soon as him, Maxi, and Willock came on, obviously Willock's going to play because Bruno can't play. He's suspended for 2 games, so Willock's obviously going to start. It's got to be Maxi and Joe. Yeah, who did I say?
Bruno.
Yeah,
Joe Linton. Sorry, he's suspended for 2 games. So Willock's obviously going to start. He'll be fresh as a daisy as well. Because I know he's had a little niggle. I don't think it's been serious.
Rare to go like.
Well,
he looks fully fit now.
We've seen it when he came on against City. He was driving the ball forward. Like, he could actually run with the ball. We all know
he put a good ball across the box as well, didn't
he? Yeah, yeah. Especially, like, Maxi's in form at the minute. He's, like, obviously... Which game was it? He obviously played well in the final. He did.
Yeah.
And the game before, who was it that we played against? And he was fucking brilliant. Was it the only person that was class? Well, fuck me.
Liverpool?
Yeah, it was Liverpool.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
He was absolutely class against Liverpool. So you thought it was a bank at the start. Obviously, Eddie Howe, it was all tactics, so he says. He's got to start, like, he's got to. You can't just keep using them as impact subs and giving them fucking 30 minutes, like. We don't have that.
Yeah.
We need to start scoring goals. And obviously, Sam, you talked about a different option. Obviously, with Chris Wood as a target man to put balls into. That's all he was good for, heading the ball. Obviously, holding it up and heading the ball. Wilson heading it, not so much. At the minute, holding it up, his touch is fucking shocking.
Yeah.
Like, it's coming to him and it's bouncing off him. So at the minute, he's not doing that. So I think the only option that we are missing is the sort of Chris Wood, big lad stature, but we don't play like that, do we? Isak can take the ball down, run with the ball. He can take people on with it. He can create stuff with it. We all know Wilson can't do that as much as Isak. But
Wilson doesn't dribble at a man. It's not something he can't do.
His legs are gone now. His legs are just gone.
I think the problem is Wilson's like the guy you want to finish everything off when he's in form. Obviously, he's not in form at the minute, and he can't buy a goal. And Isak seems to be like, we've seen it twice now where Isak's on the touchline. He just or the byline. He just turns the player, and he's in the box. Yeah. He did against Southampton. He did against City. But obviously, he's not then in the box to finish it off. So you need somebody.
Well, this is it. At the minute, I'd love to play a diamond, mate. I'd love to play.
I suppose Maxi, if Maxi's coming in off the left.
We Caroline.
So, based on that, then. One other player I wanted to mention before we talk about the Wolves game is Trippier, because I think the fact Trippier's captain and he takes set pieces, and obviously with Wilson being a striker, you expect him to score. It's more obvious. But I think he's kind of been affected by the World Cup just as much, and he's due a break as well.
The problem is he's very flat.
We have no one really that can come in and do what he does.
That's the problem. The quality that would replace him. We've got Manquillo fit.
What's the young lad? Harrison Ashby. Obviously, Harrison Ashby's not up to first team standard, is he?
I don't think he's even made the bench yet.
No, he hasn't. But I don't know. Even he's okay defensively. He's doing all right, but he's did a reasonably appalling.
I think he's actually been at fault for a couple of goals recently.
Well, obviously, it was his fault for the second goal against City. But yeah, he's given the ball away a lot. Like simple passes, like crosses, like lumping the ball upfield. Like there's not much he's doing well at the moment, but he's undroppable because the lack of quality that we've got behind him. So he's just one of those where we've just got to keep on playing him and hope his form turns on a little bit because we're relying on him so much.
Could you argue that Lascelles deserves to keep his place because of his performance? Therefore, he's captain.
I was gonna talk about
and
that.
And then, if Matty Target comes in, we've got a set piece taker. So this could be the time.
You don't want to change the back line too much, though. I know we've conceded a few goals. I mean, 2 goals, by the way, have been deflections off Sven Botman. So it's not like it's bad luck, that.
Bernardo Silva's finish, Jesus Christ, he's half slipping and gets a toe on it. Like, fuck me. Like, it's not like because conceding like horrible big chances. Like, both
the Foden one, though, he shouldn't even be getting that.
He came a long way. He came a long way.
Like, Sven Botman's last-ditch attempt obviously gets deflected in, but he shouldn't even have to be doing that.
So. No, you're right.
But I don't know whether Lascelles keeps his place. It wouldn't surprise us, but
you couldn't fault Howe for keeping him in. Like,
I think he should, to be honest. I also think he gives us more of a threat in the opposing.
He's the only one.
Loves a header. Yeah.
You got one against City.
Going on the back, like we try and do it without him in the team. It never really works.
We can't forget about the. It's horrible to say, but the old liability side of him. Loves giving a pen away. Loves a fucking. I mean, he was fucking slipping and falling all over against City, by the way. How many times was
a few players actually?
There was a few players, to be fair. Yeah.
Obviously, trying to keep the pitch like watered for the style of play.
Yeah, slick.
Grealish kept falling over as well, didn't he?
Standard.
Not to do with his fucking boots, though.
That was funny when Burn and Haaland went kind of.
Well, he fucking kicked out of him, didn't he? Grealish kicked out of him on the floor.
Yeah, he
dirty bastard.
Didn't get an out either, did he? I think
He's
Haaland and
fucking,
Burn both got
he's
yellow.
fucking horrible, that Haaland. He's an ugly bastard, that Haaland, you know.
Yeah, I would love to know what Dan Burn said to him. Like,
I know. Who that fucking daft cunt? That's what he said, isn't it? Rumour has it, that's what he said.
In, yeah.
That's all right, don't matter. Forget it. Edit it out if you have to. People bleep it out, mate.
I'll put a little thing over your mouth.
We'll just edit you out the
pod. But yeah, so what do you think for the lineup then? Obviously, I think we're all in agreement Isak comes in.
For the Wolves lineup?
Yeah.
Does he come in though? Because we've been saying it for weeks now. We said it for the final. We said it against Liverpool. We said it against City.
I think he does. I think he does. I think this time he does. If I wouldn't have said it if because Eddie Howe came out last time and said it was tactical, left, Isak and that on the bench. I think he starts.
So you reckon that's halfly admitting that, like, yeah, Wilson is in bad form, but for this game specifically, I kept him in for the tactical side. Not
necessarily in bad form, but I think he just said,
he is in bad form.
The game because he used obviously, I think he sort of half used brought Maxi into it. The question about Isak starting, he brought Maxi into it and was like, well, the reason we had these three on the bench was sort of bring them all on to make a big impact, rather than just going, I would kept Isak on the bench. And it's like, well, he's been on the bench every game, mate. So he's used the three of them as a sort of little excuse almost. But I think it's got to be easy.
You can understand that,
we've been saying this.
I think.
You can understand his logic behind it, but...
Starting Wilson and then having them three to come on. Because if the game was still 0-0...
Maxi had walk on post for 90 fucking minutes last time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you went in the full game.
Yeah.
Like... So it's just hard to see the reasoning.
And I think the Maxi one's the worst one, because even if you had Gordon, Isak and who's the other? Willock coming on together. It's the same. It's the same like impact.
I sort of think Miggy needs a break.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
I think I'd
go Gordon on the right, Maxi on the left. Yeah.
Well, that's another thing. He's massively predictable because he does the same thing. He hasn't got a right foot, so you know he's going to cut inside all the fucking time. You'll run to the byline, touch it back, pass it back to Trippier. Trippier puts it, but something. It just happens all the fucking time.
Cross it in the box, set it out.
Yeah, at least swap sides with Maxi or Gordon or whatever, just to fucking mix it up a bit. But I think Miggy starts. But what's that going to do to Gordon's confidence? Played him on his debut. And then drops him for the next game. He's
young though, isn't he? And
100%. But it's like, well, he obviously, again, Gordon will know he had a cock up and he had not a great game. So if he thinks, I'm dropped now, fucking hell. It's a hard one. I don't know. Obviously, it's all man.
At the same time, though, what about Maxi? Like,
he's got to start.
If you start Gordon again on the left, what does that do for Maxi's confidence? Because he's been pretty good since he's been fully fit, and then he's not getting started.
I do think, especially for the City game, I think Eddie Howe will have told them the reason why they're not starting. Because everyone said how good they've been the past couple of games. I think he'd have said, this is the tactic, you're on the bench for this reason. He never does a triple substitution for a start. Mm-hmm. It's always the same subs, we know it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that highlights the big reason, the fact that there was reasoning behind bringing them all on at that specific time to have an impact like that. So I think the last game that you've been sub, I think you said to all three of them, look, this is a plan, you're coming on at this. This is why you're starting, this is what I want you to do. Rather than just going, Max, you go and get warmed up, we'll bring you on. It's like, right, lads, this is the fucking plan. But I don't know. Starting, I don't fucking know. You can't. It's like Pep Roulette, mate. Pep Roulette with three players.
And then we've got to think about, as well, the left-back situation. Do you think Target's actually going to come in? Because I think that does affect who he plays left wing as well.
I don't think he needs to change. Again, Burns been playing so well for so long. Like, he likes to reward his players, like with a place in the starting lineup. It's not like he's had some terrible games. Yeah, like Foden against him, fuck me, like can you blame him for being run a bit ragged? But who, like, do you reckon Wolves might target him again? Like, say, like, Adama Traore has not been playing too much. They could just hire him on Burn and say fucking run at him. Like, you always think against these teams like Arsenal with Saka that they seem to target Burn with the nippy players that they've got. And they do cause them problems. Like, yeah, Burn might have a generally good game, but there's a few times where they'll get in behind, and they will get in behind. And that's what I'm half thinking with Wolves specifically.
Do you think Matt Target offers more defensively though, in that way? Like,
I do.
He's not.
I do.
I don't know if he's that much faster. I think going forward he offers more, but I'm not sure about defensively.
I think he's a lot more agile. Burns strong and he's good in the air. We know that, and he is good with his feet.
He's good with his feet. Like, did you see his little Christ turn?
He does a few nice little turns, doesn't he? I think it's just that position. I'd prefer Target in that position, personally.
Yeah,
it's hard though, because the only reason Burns come into that position is because Target was injured.
Yeah.
If Target didn't get injured, Burn wouldn't have gone into that position.
Like, naturally, Burn is a centre back. Like, at the end of the day, he's a centre back. Yeah. How many 6'7" left backs do you have in the world? Yeah. One. Stan Burn. Like,
and when we're playing such a high defensive line, you don't want Dan Burn in a full back position.
Will at home,
yeah, exactly.
We'll play with those.
We've got to go for it. Like, fuck me. Yeah. We've got to go and we've got to try. I know we're going to try and get the 3 points, but it's like we've got to fucking win.
We need to win this game.
Have to win to keep into contention with Europe. We're still in contention because of games in hand, but to keep like the momentum, we do have to win it to keep pressure on and stuff.
We've got to be winning at home.
We need to get some momentum because we're flat.
Yeah,
we need to stop the Rots more than anything. We need a good convincing win.
This is another reason for the changes that we need. We need the change because it's too fucking flat. So I think Isak starting, Maxi starting, Willock starting. Well, that's it, isn't it? Target's not going to start.
Yeah, Miggy's not going to get dropped either, so you think
exactly.
those are the changes that could be made.
We just need a bit more fire. I think it sounds like Maxi and Isak have got a good understanding of each other. Maxi spoke about them in training and stuff like that. You really see it on the pitch. Yeah. Isak's good feet on him, making a bit tippy-tappy and all that, so...
And you know what? We need those players to get the crowd on their feet on Sunday as well, because as you said...
Exactly, a bit of excitement.
The atmosphere is flat as well. It will get fans on their feet, having Maxi run at someone, having Isak run at someone.
Yeah. Getting some fucking shots
at
away.
the moment, Callum Wilson isn't offering you that kind of excitement when he's on the pitch. You don't...
You know the ball's coming to him, he's going to chest it down. He's going to chest it down and look for something and then lay it off.
Yeah, he's just...
That's just what's happening.
I'm not saying...
The other thing with Isak is he creates more space for Miggy or Maxi as well. Because he does float like left and right. Yeah. So, like you're saying, people have worked Miggy out. Like, they know what he's going to do. Obviously, like we've seen in the past with Maxi, they always double up on him. And, you pretty much know what he's going to do as well.
I don't understand why they don't... For me, they don't switch as much as they should. Well, they fucking never switch. Like Maxi and Miggy. Like, okay, they're both playing on opposing sides to what their feet are. Like, obviously, Miggy's left-footed plays on the right, Maxi's right-footed plays on the left. Just mix it up every now and then. So you're going against a different defender. So they don't know how to play. It's fucking...
I think the reason for it is the setup, isn't it, with the full-backs and stuff. I think that's why they're doing. But... They probably do need to like work on that in training a little bit and get.
We've been found out with the way we play. We've been found out, 100%.
Yeah, I think we are.
We know what we're going to do. We're going to go to the line. We're going to play it down the line. We're going to put it into the box for no one to be there. That's what happens.
One thing I will say is though, I don't think performance-wise we've been that bad. Like,
just clinical
compared to when we were winning games all the time, and then now we've lost a few. I don't actually think we've been that much worse performance-wise. and like XG as well has pretty much stayed the same. It's just that we were overperforming goal scoring wise and probably conceding wise as well. Start of the season and now it's kind of
we're just not
exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
As you say, with XG,
I just wonder what's happened.
We had more XG against Liverpool. We had more XG against Man U. And we had some very good chances. I don't know the exact numbers, but we had very good chances against Man City. Like, we had 2, like, gilt edge opportunities that we should have scored. So, yeah, it's just
that could have easily been 2-2, like, 100%.
Exactly.
Easily,
I think it should we dropped a point there, 100% dropped a point. We wouldn't have beat them, but we definitely dropped a point.
We didn't by any stretch get blown out the park. And, by the way, Bruno was injured for 70 minutes of that game. He got injured about 20 minutes in, and he just battled on and battled on and battled on.
De Bruyne was non-existent.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Did nothing.
Do you think Bruno's going to be all right for Wolves game?
He's been in pictures of him in training. That sound.
Yeah, I've just seen the photos earlier today. Yeah, he's still in training. We're informant on the training ground said he's not been in the medical room too much.
We're informant. The mole.
We're inside man. The mole.
And what about Joe Linton being suspended? How do you think that's going to affect them?
Well, the only thing is, it's going to mix it up a bit.
Opportunity for Willock.
Definitely massive opportunity.
He's not been in bad form this season in general, and he's exciting to get on the ball. He's positive on the ball. It might just be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, he's worked pretty well in that left of the three when Joe Linton's been on the left wing as well. So I'm not too worried about that.
That's the thing. If we do start Maxi, he does fill in that left back role to track the full back. So he covers for Maxi in a way. So it lets Maxi have that creative freedom, and he doesn't fucking get back. So Willock on that left, or Joe Linton when he's there, does help in there. So. Yeah,
there was a thing though.
Exactly.
I noticed it against City. Joe Linton was holding onto the ball a bit longer than he should have been. I think trying to do slightly too. I know he's been fucking brilliant all season, but like maybe he's trying to create something too much. Yeah.
Because City were on us quick every time.
Just get the ball and release it. But I mean, the difference, like the difference in when they had the ball. And the options they had to pass it was just ridiculous. It looked like they had double the men on the pitch. Whereas when we had the ball, it was like there was nothing there. Players were just static and didn't know what to do. And then when they were attacking us, they were just onto us. Whereas we just gave them so much space. Almost too much respect. Instead of getting fucking stuck into them. But then again,
which we did us in
you try and get stuck. Yeah, exactly, Just go to it. I was going to say, you try and get stuck into them and they just release the ball straight away.
That's around you.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's so good at those little triangles, like so sharp and nippy.
Yeah, they are brilliant to watch, like class to watch, and they weren't even that good.
No, but then we're going to come on to taking on Wolves, and I don't know if you guys have really took note of their season so far, but I think they're actually in quite a decent bit of form.
Yeah, the new manager.
I think since the new manager came in.
He's got them playing some real good football. Like he's
exciting.
He's completely changed them. Exciting. Yeah. He's got like the likes of like Nunez coming on and playing well. Like even though he's still not got a striker, like Jimenez obviously hasn't been the same since his head injury. Costa is fucking well past it.
What
he's still got them playing.
What is he gone? What is he doing? He's just been banished to the bench or fucking...
What's that, Costa?
Does he even get selected? Yeah.
You started last game, but you went off injured. He went off injured early. But he's been poor when he has been playing. I think he hasn't been particularly fit as well. Obviously, he is like 37 or something.
They've got a good keeper as well in Sarr.
Yeah, very good. But they've got a load of young, exciting players, like attacking players. Like Neto's back fit as well. They've just got... Yeah.
Fabio, is it Fabio? Fabio Vieira, is it?
Yeah. No, he's Arsenal talent.
Oh, Arsenal. What's this one? What's it? It's Fabio. Is it Fabio? It is, man, something like that. Very similar.
Well,
just pause a second.
Sarabia.
Well, just talk. Who?
Sarabia, the lad from PSG?
No, man. Fabio, it's Fabio something. Fabio. Just talk amongst yourselves, by the way, lads.
Wait,
Fabio Silva. Fabio Silva.
Oh, the young lad, from Porto.
The young lad.
Yeah, well, he was like a football manager wonder kid. Like, I'm sure they paid like 30,
yeah, he was the next best thing
when
he was the next best thing when he signed Wolves, wasn't he?
Didn't he go on loan? Is he still actually with Wolves?
I hope he is.
I wouldn't mind him playing for it, like.
This is another really quality section in St James's pod.
Yeah, he's actually on loan at PSV. So
I heard he's been absolutely outstanding as well. By the way, like.
Imagine he's been banging them in. 5 matches, 2 goals in the Eredivisie this season.
There you go. That's what I meant. He's been playing class for PSG.
So I don't think he'll be starting on Sunday now.
Yeah.
Fucking what a shit show of a sector this is.
So Wolves are just off the back of beating Spurs, but they were at home for that one. And the last win was against Southampton away.
Yeah,
but before that, they beat Liverpool at home as well. So
Southampton away one was a strange one. Southampton went 1-0 up, and then Lemina got sent off. And I didn't even know Lemina got a transfer from Southampton to Wolves. So I was thinking, Southampton had a player sent off. Realised he plays for Wolves, been sent off for Wolves, and then they come from behind and win 2-1 anyways. Like, that was the final nail in the coffin for Nathan Jones, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Because obviously Southampton bottom of the league 1-0
to finish up with him
against 10 men early, and then still managed to fuck it up. But I think that's Wolves like 5 points clear now, more points in games. Aye, they're staying up.
5 points clear of the relegation zone.
Aye.
Yeah, well, just looking at the league, then they've obviously managed to create a bit of a gap between themselves and the relegation, but they are kind of in there with Forest, Palace, and Leicester's not too far off them. But you'd expect us at home to be kind of beating the likes of that, wouldn't you? So, are you feeling confident coming at this one? Or
see, with our recent form, like, it's hard to just go into a game with a lot of confidence. Like, before the World Cup, a home game to any team in the bottom half, I'd be like, yep, like, we're going to get the win, like, happy days. But, like, we just need to find those scoring boots again, because these are the games we need to win to finish, but not even, like, Champions League places, top 6. Like, we've got Fulham, we've got Brentford.
We're not getting Champions League.
Aye, they're breathing down with X.
There's no chance.
Liverpool have already went ahead of her. So
game in hand.
We've got a couple of games. We've got a couple of games at hand over Spurs and 2 over Fulham, who were just creeping behind with. Is it Fulham?
And that's another reason why we need to take advantage on Sunday and get the win.
100%. 100%. Definitely.
Yeah.
Need a pounce.
A point's not good enough, I don't think. I really don't.
But then,
no.
Yeah, you've got someone like Brighton coming in as well. They've actually got a game in hand over us. So it's really, it is really tight in there. Probably from 4th down.
But on the flip side, though, it's good to have 3 new teams. As in, well, I know Brighton are always lurking around there, but they always fall off towards the end of the season. But to have like us, Fulham, and Brighton all competing for Europe, it's fucking great. Like, apart
everyone
from like
above Chelsea, who have spent 600 mil, it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's great seeing them, like, isn't it? Seeing their fucking downfall, fucking brilliant.
Todd Bowley didn't actually know that they didn't qualify for the Champions League every season. He thought they got it in every year.
Fuck off.
Have you not heard that?
Nah.
Yeah, he thought Chelsea like automatically qualified for the Champions League every year, and that's like half the reason why he spent so much money, because he thought like that was guaranteed money coming in every year.
He
thought, I
fucking know.
Like it is strong rumours. Like I don't know if they're like confirmed true, but there's strong rumours that was the case.
Probably exaggerated as well. Like,
could well be, but it's either way. It's
true.
If true.
Yeah, let's say it's true.
Yeah, it's true. Aye.
But I think for me, I am actually quite confident going into this one because I feel like this run of form's come around the cup final. Obviously, one of the losses is the cup final. It's cup final. Like anything could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other two are Liverpool and City, which
we didn't play Burnley.
Well, no, we didn't. And also Liverpool. I think Liverpool did they get beat the week after us? But then they've gone and smashed Man U 7-0. So. You know, they're not the worst teams to get beat by, and I do think the cup final was a bit of a distraction. So I feel like now it's going to be reset, and we're going to freshen things up a little bit.
Everyone has a dry patch, a little dry spell. It just happens all the fucking time. Like whether it's at the start, whether it's at the end. Obviously, Liverpool had it at the start. Now they're flying. So well, not flying, but Man United had it at the start. Now they're flying. So we're just going through a bit of a dry spell. We'll get out of it. Couple of goals on Sunday. Well, confidence will be back.
It's the perfect time as well because we've got obviously we've got this game at home, then we've got to go away to Forest. Friday night game
after that,
and then international weekend, and then we're at home to Man United, which will be that'll be rocking at St James's. Like,
yeah, we've got to beat Forest. Like, got to beat Forest. And Ash Shelby and Chris Wood plays there, callback plays for them. We'll have to fucking beat them then.
Yeah. I think the next two are kind of must wins if we want to get European football.
Yeah.
And then I'd just love us to smash Man U at St James's. But I actually feel pretty good going into the weekend considering the run we're on.
I feel pretty good purely with the thought.
Last few years.
Yeah. It's purely with the thought that I've got my fingers crossed that Eddie Howe is going to mix it up, make some changes. If he doesn't, if I see the team sheet and he hasn't made any changes, my confidence will drop. I'll go, we'll go again. It sounds so bad, me going, here we'll go again. After the shit we've been through, Steve Bruce and all that. It's like, I feel like, how dare you to myself, like, say that? But it's like, because we're in this little rut, it's like, something needs to change, mate. How Just... I don't know.
You'll know yourself like more than anyone.
I hope so.
I think the thing we've got to remember as well is, like we're saying, we're not been playing badly. We have been making the chances. It's mainly been the finishing. So even if we don't make changes, at the end of the day, one's going to come. It's like with Longstaff, how many chances was he getting, and then suddenly he banged in 2 and 3 in like
definitely
a few games. Yeah. So, but I definitely think Isak will start, and whether he brings Shea back in or not.
I think Isak and Maxi will start, definitely. But one thing, going off topic here, lads, I know we're talking about Wolves, but the latest, because we obviously didn't have a pod last week, but the latest crack with Ryan Fraser being banished to the under-21s, not even the 23s, by the way, the 21s. Eddie Howe saying he only wants players playing for the club who are committed to the club, and Ryan Fraser does not have a future at the club. Hefty words, that. Like, obviously there was a bit of fire at Bournemouth between them two.
You've done exactly the same with the House.
Yeah. Very interesting what's been said. Like,
I wonder what has actually gone off there, because have you heard the rumours about the bust up with Trippier as well?
No.
There's rumours that Fraser and Trippier had a bust up, which is...
I thought you meant Eddie Howe and Trippier.
Oh, no.
Fraser and Trippier, why?
I think they were arguing about who was the shortest, and then...
many a battle I've been in there, like...
You never need to argue.
No, I think...
I always lost.
I think that rumour's probably just a rumour, to be honest, but Hal actually said it in an interview, didn't he? So we know that one's true.
Fraser's obviously got it in his locker to be a bit fucking, I don't know, childish, if you like. I don't know what you want to call it.
It's a strange one for me, because back end of last season he was like really part of the team, and there was all that thing with him and Dan Burn, and like just this season he's just been
he spat his dummy out because he's not playing. I think that's got something to do with it. He's not playing, spat his dummy out. He thinks he should be playing.
But he's not even been on the bench a lot this season.
Other players have got egos, though, don't they? They'll think, well, why aren't I playing? What have I done wrong? I don't think it's anything that he's done wrong. He's just fucking not good enough. Simple as that.
Maybe, like, I don't know, like, thought he could get away in January, and that never happened, so he's had a bit of a bust-up since, and then now he's frozen out completely.
In the FA Cup game against Sheff Wed? No, he did.
I don't know, Matt Ritchie played.
Matt Ritchie played. I don't think Fraser did, which is
he was on the bench.
very interesting.
Unused sub. So he was on the bench, but he never came on.
Well, that's fucking saying something if all the shit players got on there, like. It's true.
Ritchie was good, man.
Ritchie was good. Jamal Lewis wasn't, and he's somehow been selected to play for Northern Ireland.
I probably feel like
I know they've got no fullbacks now. They don't have a left back, so it was either him or the postman, I think. But yeah.
Are you ready for some predictions then?
Yeah, I'll go 2-0 Newcastle.
You know what? I was thinking we're not very confident and stuff like that, and I was going to say 2-0 as well.
I thought I'd get in there sharp, mate.
I'm not very confident, but 2-0. I'm going to stick with that as well, to be fair. Just trusting.
By the way, the last set of predictions, nobody got anywhere close. So.
What was that with Man City?
No, because we didn't do a pod for that, did we? So we'd be in the final.
So the final,
obviously, we all predicted we'd win. So
yeah, I did. On penalties.
Yeah, we didn't go to penalties. So
nope.
I'm going to say 3-1. Goals are going to come flying in. Well, if you're still here after about 53 minutes of the podcast,
we need to cut some out.
Consider 50. That's true. It's probably like 10 minutes of podcast.
For the 10 minutes.
If you can give us a follow and a rating, or if you're on YouTube, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and comments as well. I want to see some comments. It actually really helps us out. It's all free to do. You can support the podcast as well if you want to become a member through Anchor or Patreon. Both links will be in the description. And we'll be back next week to see if any of those predictions were correct. Hopefully, Tom won't be playing pickleball, so we can get his opinion on stuff. Hopefully. We'll be discussing We'll be discussing the Wolves game, the result, and looking ahead to Forest away. But before all that, enjoy the Wolves game. We'll see you in the next one.
Wanna hear you go.